Good morning. It's Dr. Minette Riordan with another adventure in Heartwise Parenting for you on this absolutely gorgeous, 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 gorgeous Thursday morning. I don't know about you. I am so glad to see the sunshine today. It's amazing how much it just perks up my spirit, just automatically actually made it out the door for a short walk and kind of jogging a little bit this morning and watching the sunrise come up. And I was walking along the sidewalk in our park here in Plano. There's this one place where the sun was just reflecting on the wet sidewalk and making this whole rainbow effect. And it was amazing, just amazing. And I realized I've got a busy day. My husband's sick. My son's not feeling good, complaining about his stomach ache. My daughter's homesick with a cold today. I'm probably getting the cold too. And I have to give a talk on Saturday. And all these thoughts are going through my head and it's feeling like crazy. But you know what? There was something about just being outside for that 30 minutes and going for a walk and reconnecting to nature and the things that make me happy, and everything's blooming, the trumpet vines, the daffodils. Somebody had some beautiful dianthus and geraniums and just so much color everywhere. Everywhere I looked, there was color. Adventures in Heartwise Parenting is all about finding those beautiful moments that helps us feel more connected to ourselves and to our kids and to our spouses. And being outside for me is one of the quickest, fastest ways to get reconnected to myself and have the energy then to make sure that I'm doing a good job of connecting to my kids. And I have two things I want to just talk about today. And one is things that my daughter and my son teach me about being silly. And the other one is about knowing when to just be supportive and let our kids make their own decisions. Those are probably two big topics that we could talk about for hours on end. But it's what's on my mind this morning. And the first, I'm going to do them in reverse. So the second topic, my son has been having some stomach issues. We're not sure what's going on. Could be food allergies, maybe a little virus. He has a field trip to go to the Texas Ranger Stadium this morning. And he's standing there in the kitchen and he's trying to make a decision about what he wants to do. Does he feel bad enough to stay home? And this has been going on. He has no fever, nothing really. So it's clearly he's not contagious. He knows that in a couple of hours it'll probably clear up and he'll feel better. And I'm struggling with my husband because he's standing there fussing at Connor saying, just make a decision already because it's time to go and they don't want to be late and he's ready to go to work. And, it's hard sometimes in that moment when we're going crazy and running around like chickens with our heads cut off, especially in all the morning hecticness of trying to get everybody out the door to work and to school and all the things that we have to do, to just stop and say, wow, I really see that you're not feeling well today, but you're 12 and you can make this decision. If you really feel like you need to stay home, great. So our solution ended up being, I found out when he was leaving for the field trip. It's not till like 9:30 in the morning. So this was like 8 o'clock this morning. I said, you know what? You've got an hour. Go to school. If you don't get to feeling better and you don't think you can be happy going on the field trip, call me and I'll come and get you. Knowing that he'll probably go to school and be fine. He'll move around a little bit and everything will be okay. This is shades of what happened last week when I had to go give that talk and he was sick and he stayed home alone. And it's like, why is this still going on and what's going on with him and what do we need to do to figure all of this out. My husband doesn't feel well, so he wasn't the most patient this morning. My daughter's homesick with a head cold. We're all suffering from it a little bit, and I'm just saying my prayers and taking my vitamin C this morning because I have to talk at Project Mom again on Saturday, and the last thing I want is to be up there sneezing and sniffling and talking about commitment when really I feel like crap myself. So in those moments when your kids are struggling with making decisions, don't put pressure on them to force them to try to make the decision too quickly. Don't try to sway them. If you're going to give them the opportunity to be independent and make the right decisions, let them make it and just be supportive. So the message is just look at your kids and say, whatever you decide is fine. You can certainly share your opinions and say, here's what I would do or here's what I would think is best. But, if you want to raise independent, resilient kids who can really think for themselves, let them make some of their own decisions. And sometimes they aren't always going to work out and they need to learn to deal with the consequences of that as well. But hopefully this will all work out for Connor. Okay, and then my second thing I want to talk about is what my kids have taught me lately about being silly and why I was thinking about it this morning. I think it was just such a beautiful morning and I was out there walking and trying to figure out what I want to talk about on the video today. And I remembered there was one day last week when Brad was gone and I drove the Went to pick my daughter up from piano lessons, and we were driving home, and she said her teacher had given her this new song to play, and it was called the Jizu thingy. And I'm like, the what? And she's like, the Jizu thingy. And I looked at her and I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about. Where's the book? And so she pulls out the book, and the song was Jesu, Joy of Man's Desiring, which is a really complicated song, and it's a beautiful name. And she had never seen Jesus written that way or pronounced that way. And just kind of got herself all confused about what was the name and how to pronounce it. But the silly part was that those two little words, Jizu thingy, were sounded so silly the way she said them, the Jizu thingy. And we had no idea what she was talking about. And so Connor immediately sitting in the back seat starts like making this rap song up and singing, which of course sent Maggie into fits of hysteria and giggling. And for the 10-minute drive home, they just giggled and laughed and nonstop. And every time she would stop being silly and laughing a little bit, he'd start over singing and being silly. And we laughed all the way home. And there is nothing more wonderful. You sort of at those points in your life with your kids and everything's going so well, and it's one of those just perfect halcyon moments, and you back out and you say, wow, you wish you could capture this and just keep this moment forever. It reminded me of how important it is to be silly, to laugh, and to just enjoy these moments with my kids, not always be the serious one, the one who's trying to get everything done, but to have those times where you just get to sit and laugh and be silly. And having a 9-year-old daughter has been a beautiful lesson in silliness. Everything is funny and delightful and wonderful, and it reminds me to look for those moments in my own life. To be a heart-wise parent, we have to remember to capture all of those emotions and feelings, and to celebrate the beauties of every moment with our kids, and to embrace our own sense of silliness because they love it when we're silly with them. So go today, be present with your kids, feel connected, and find something to be really silly about. I hope you have a great day. I'm Dr. Minette Riordan with North Texas Kids Magazine and Adventures in Heartwise Parenting. Have a great day.